Right now in our Indiana, the #1 ranked IU men's swimming and diving team put on another impressive performance this weekend in Knoxville, Tennessee.
And the Archie Miller era has begun, with Hoosier fans getting their first taste of exhibition basketball.
All that and more coming up on Our Indiana. Hello and welcome to Our Indiana. I'm Spencer Davis.
And I'm Joe Canner. Our first story tonight, the Indiana men's soccer team finished undefeated, but was denied a share of the Big Ten championship because of draws. The #1 ranked IU men's soccer team wrapped up their regular season last Sunday in East Lansing against Michigan State. A win would have propelled either the Hoosiers or the Spartans to the Big Ten championship, as both were unbeaten in conference play. Indiana struck first in this one in the 25th minute when Trevor Schwartz converted on a penalty kick for his third goal of the season. IU's 1-0 lead lasted until the 61st minute when Ryan Sarakowski scored on a penalty kick of his own. That tied the game for the Spartans. That's all these two outstanding defenses would allow, and the game ended in a 1-1 draw. Indiana is still unbeaten on the season with a record of 13-0-4 as they enter the Big Ten tournament, where their quarterfinal matchup against Penn State will be played in Bloomington.
Both the men's and women's cross-country teams finished 7th at Sunday's Big Ten Championships held here in Bloomington. IU junior Catherine Receiver added to her already impressive collegiate resume, setting a new 6K course record while taking home the Big Ten individual title. Receiver, who earned all Big Ten first-team honors this year, became just the second IU female athlete to win the Big Ten title and the first to do so in 27 years. Her time of 20 minutes and 10.3 seconds set a new all-time course record on the IU Championships cross-country 6K course, breaking her own time of 20 minutes and 14.08 seconds that she set earlier this season.
Indiana football traveled to College Park, Maryland this past Saturday, where they took on a Terrapin squad down to its third-string quarterback. The Hoosiers jumped out to a 14-0 lead early in this one, but the Terps took advantage of the worst defensive performance of the year for the Hoosiers, torching IU's secondary all game long. Indiana's offense picked up the slack, though, and racked up nearly 500 yards of total offense. Whop Fillier earned Big Ten Freshman of the Week honors as he racked up a whopping 129 yards on 13 catches and a touchdown. Both Richard Lego and Peyton Ramsey had success throwing the ball in this one, but it came down to a final drive for Indiana, and they were unable to convert on 4th down. They would go on to lose this one by a final score of 42-39. With that loss, the Hoosiers fall to 0-5 in Big Ten play. Disappointed Hoosier football fans are welcoming the upcoming basketball season with open arms. The team tipped off its first exhibition game of the season, defeating Marian University 93-62. Many players had bright moments, but the star of this game was clearly Devontae Green. We're going to send it over now to our own Zan Piarli to break down the big game from Green.
Thanks, guys. Devontae Green was impressive in Saturday's exhibition win for Indiana, dropping 22 points and dishing out 7 assists. Let me take you through a couple of key plays Green orchestrated in order for the Hoosiers to score. First play, here's Green inbounding the ball. You got 4 Hoosiers on the baseline. Green steps in, sets a nice screen for Freddie McSwain here on the low block. Because of that, Green's defender has to hedge over for McSwain a little bit. And now Green comes up, catches a nice down screen from Justin Smith. Look how much space he has. He's able to pull up and hit the jumper right inside the three-point arc for an easy bucket. Now on the second play, Green catches the ball off the pass, and he just takes a nice screen from Clifton Moore. Now after this, he's got options. He can either drive or try to find more on the roll. He drives right to the basket, initiating the offense, taking it right into the defense. Now here on this third play, he catches the ball, a nice pump fake, gets his defender off balance a little bit, so he decides to drive right at him. Because of that, look at Newkirk's defender. He's off of Newkirk, trying to get over to Green, leaving Newkirk wide open right here with his defender off balance for an easy three-pointer. Now this next play is my favorite. Here's Devontae Green, dribble handoff. Look at him right here in the paint. Now what can he do here? Well, he's going to run around, catch a nice screen from Clifton Moore, and because we saw him initiate the drive earlier, 3 defenders all around him, focused in on him, dishes it off to Clifton Moore for a nice, easy dunk. Now Green showed in the first exhibition game that he's a dynamic player. Let's see if he can keep it going this Sunday in the final exhibition game and throughout the whole season under Archie Miller. Joe and Spencer, back to you guys.
The Indiana field hockey team played its last game of 2017 on Friday, falling to number 8 seed Ohio State in the first round of the Big Ten tournament. The Buckeyes came out on top 3-1, but senior goalkeeper Katie Johnson capped off her only season as IU's full-time starter with a career-high 14 saves. Her 121 saves this season ranked third on Indiana's all-time leaderboard for single-season saves. Another IU senior, Maddie Latino, also completed a career milestone during her final game in the Cream and Crimson, as the forward scored her 10th goal of the season in the 53rd minute. With that strike, she became just the 4th Hoosier in school history to score 10 or more goals in multiple seasons. Latino has one more game remaining before hanging up the cleats, the NFHCA Senior All-Star Game, which will take place in her hometown of Louisville, Kentucky.
Fresh off their huge wins in Gainesville against number 3 Florida and number 5 Texas, the now number 1 ranked IU men's swimming and diving team traveled to Knoxville, Tennessee, where they defeated number 15 Tennessee and Kentucky. The stars for the Hoosiers were Blake Peroni and Vinny Lanza. They led the way, each notching 3 wins apiece. Peroni won the 50-meter, 100-meter, and 200-meter freestyle, while Lanza brought home W's in the 100 and 200-meter fly, as well as the 200-meter individual medley. The win puts the Hoosiers' dual meet win streak at 17 in a row, quite a feat for the number 1 team in the country. They'll look to continue that streak on November 9th when they host Cincinnati and number 14 Notre Dame.
The IU volleyball team dropped to 500 on the season at 12-12, following 2 losses against Big Ten opponents this weekend. The Hoosiers visited College Park, Maryland on Friday, where they fell 3-1 at the hands of the Terps. IU did not fare any better during Saturday's match at Ohio State, as they got swept in straight sets. The Hoosiers are now just 1-11 in Big Ten play. But as the IU volleyball team is focusing on adjustments on the court, one player is in the midst of an even larger transition. I spoke to freshman setter Nitsan Lazary about her journey so far from Israel to Bloomington.
American volleyball is kind of different than what I used to play. It's a lot faster. There's some kind of different rules, but I just like the hardest part is to just get used to the girls. Like it's to learn 15 players how they need to play right now. But I'm still like, I feel like I'm learning here. It's my 2 months over here, and I feel it's really good.
Student athletes at Indiana come from all over, but few come from as far away as freshman Nitsan Lazary. On August 11th, the newest Hoosier volleyball team setter landed in the United States after leaving her home back in Tel Mond, Israel.
Like almost committed to another school, and then Coach Dunbar made a contact with me, and apparently the setter that was supposed to be this year, she quit or something, I don't remember, and she just called me and asked if I still like haven't committed me yet, and I was like, this school is much better than the school I was supposed to go to, so that was my decision. It was like a month since they recruited me, and then I came here. My first day was kind of crazy. A day before, I just got my visa and discharged from the Army, and the same morning we just booked a flight ticket, and I came here the day after.
Aside from the on-court adjustments, Lazary must also transition to being a student once again. In Israel, once you graduate high school, you are required to serve 2 years in the military.
I kind of like forgot how is it to just sit in the class and study. But yeah, here the classes are much bigger. I mean, I used to go for a class like 30 people, and now it's like 100, 150. I feel like when I'm walking from my microeconomics class in Jordan to psychology in Woodburn, there is those roads next to like the rivers and the water, and it's really beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen like a school or a college like that in Israel, so I think the campus here is really, really unique and beautiful. Sample Gates looks amazing. The amount of flowers here is ridiculous.
Lazary has been able to use her experience in the military to adapt to life as a student athlete.
It gives you a lot of maturity. Like, I feel like 2 years after high school, it's still, like, it teaches you something and more values and stuff, and you can be really independent and do a lot of stuff except from volleyball. but I've never been that far from home for that long, and also there is a time difference, so it's 7 hours later. So I kind of like, it's kind of difficult to talk with my parents when I'm at school in the morning or when I'm available at night. They sleeping, but we're managing. It's fine.
The IU volleyball team has welcomed Lasry into its family with open arms ever since she arrived on campus, and Lasry has shared some of her own family's traditions with her teammates, including bringing each of them presents for Rosh Hashanah.
The girls are amazing. They always like, I'm living in the dorms with the other 4 freshmen, and we always like hang out, we study together. I'm with them with some classes and stuff like that, and also practices. We always like going out, like eat after that and stuff like that. So it's really nice. That was our New Year's Eve, the Jewish New Year's Eve. So I was developing some pictures of our team, and I bought a mug to each person, so I gave that to them. It was really nice. They all hugged me. It was right before a game, so it was really like, I mean, I told them, I feel like usually I'm celebrating this holiday with my family, and now your guys are my family, so it was really exciting.
At the beginning of the season, Lasry was held off the court as she awaited a decision by the NCAA regarding her eligibility.
For like 3 weeks, and we had matches and I couldn't get in, and I was really frustrated about it. We didn't know if I even could play this season, and then our team went to Evansville, and I couldn't like travel with them. And that day exactly, Coach Dunbar called me and told me that I got my eligibility, and the whole team was there, and it was really exciting. I could hear everyone, and that was a moment that I'll never forget. First of all, I feel like volleyball is a lot of fun because I do what I love with the people I love. When we study, it's usually with friends, and we have the academic center when all the athletes go and study there, so we usually see our friends there. I'm having fun every single day I'm here. I'm very grateful for where I am right now.
For Our Indiana, I'm Spencer Davis.
Coming up next on Our Indiana, our own David Williams took to the streets to see how much Hoosiers know about IU athletics.
And our Tommy Poor highlights this month's top plays. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Sage Steele of ESPN. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for Indiana University.
Welcome back to Our Indiana.
As promised, we've got a special treat for you guys. Here's David Williams with our newest segment, Hoosier on the Street.
Today we're hitting the streets to find out what IU students and staff know about our athletic program. This is Hoosier on the Streets. Can you name one player on the men's basketball team?
No, I can't. Sorry.
And what's his name? Jeremiah Johnson? God.
OG Kenobi or something. All the ones I'm thinking of graduated. Yogi graduated, right?
Yogi graduated.
I'm tripping. James Blackman.
He doesn't even go here anymore.
Oh my God. I'm getting old.
Colin Harbin, Tim Priller, and Josh Newkirk.
All right, perfect. First one to get all three. Let's see, can you name a woman off the women's basketball team?
Is it Tyra Ball? Kyra Ball?
Tyra something.
You probably ride it to class every day.
Bus?
Bus. All right, first name. Does Bus trigger anything?
Nope.
How about a new question?
I'm actually a women's basketball player, so Bendu Yaney.
Bendu Yaney. All right, we got him. Mr. Wales, would you like to answer some questions about IU athletics? The stone face on that guy. Can't get a word out of him. Out of these three sports, which sport is not an official IU team? We've got men's water polo, women's water polo, and women's tennis.
I'm going to go with men's water polo.
You are correct. Then can you sing or hum a part of the IU fight song?
Hail to old IU. Is that where it ends?
The end.
The end?
Go IU. The very end.
So just to go IU.
Indiana,
Indiana, Indiana, we're all for you. We will fight for the cream and crimson, for the glory of old IU. IU, never daunted, we shall not falter. Through the battle, we're tried and true. Indiana, 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 we're all for you. Thank you very much. And guys, this has been Hoosier on the Streets. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, David. Well, another month has come and gone in IU athletics, so it's time once again to have our Indiana's Tommy Poor walk us down memory lane, showing us Indiana's best of this month. This is Top Plays with Tommy.
Thanks, guys. Once again, the IU student athletes have gone above and beyond this past month. This is October's Top Plays. Let's get rolling on the gridiron as Peyton Ramsey, making his first start of the year, rifles the ball just out of reach of the cornerback so Taser Mack can make something happen, and he did just that as he goes on to score. To field hockey, Kelsey Geist chips it over to Penn State goalie for their only score of the game. Back to football, Richard Lego pitches it to Watt Fillier as he maneuvers his way through traffic before diving into the end zone. Let's head over to the pitch as Chandra Davison does what she does best as she makes a Cornhusker defender look silly as she crosses her over and finishes it with her right foot. To the men, where a great wall in goal by the name of Trey Muse refused to end his scoreless streak as he makes 2 saves in a row against a feisty Badger squad. Later in the game in overtime, Mason Toy bends the ball into the upper 90 to put the Hoosiers in a big W over Wisconsin. That's another great month of play by the Hoosiers and another to look forward to this November. I'll be back next month for the top plays of November. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Tommy. IU Athletics had another great month, but now it's time to look at the week ahead in Hoosier sports. This is Fast Forward with Brandon Riley.
Thanks, guys. There's a lot of action going on this weekend, so let's get started. The IU men's soccer team heads into the Big Ten tournament as the number 2 seed and hosts 7th seed Penn State Sunday afternoon. This is their second meeting with the Nittany Lions, with IU coming on top 1-0 in the first game. The game is at 4 p.m. and will be aired on BTN. The women's volleyball team will hit the road this weekend. Friday, the team travels to Iowa City to take on the Hawkeyes. That game will begin at 8, and you can tune in on iuhoosiers.com. Saturday at 8:30 p.m., the Hoosiers are looking for the upset when they face the 4th-ranked Nebraska Cornhuskers in a pivotal showdown. The game is available on iuhoosiers.com. It's everyone's favorite day of the week, Saturday, which means tailgating and Indiana football. The team returns home to face off against another top 25 team, this time against the 9th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers. While Tom Allen is looking for his second conference win this season, the Hoosiers are just 3 games away from being bowl eligible. Kickoff is set for noon and will be aired on ABC. After a long season, Hoosier Hoop fans are eagerly await the debut of their new head coach. The Hoosiers played their first exhibition game of the season last Saturday and will play their second game on Sunday against the University of Indianapolis. Devontae Green led all scorers last game with 22 points, so look for him to be a huge factor in this contest. Tip is set for 2 p.m. on BTN+. That's all I've got for you this week, and if you missed any of the action, you can always find it on iuhoosiers.com. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Brandon. Well, that does it for this episode of Our Indiana. I'm Joe Cannon.
And I'm Spencer Davis. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.